Hi PSA, it's Lee Jackson here, your president, and I'm here with none other than Richard McCann. Hi Richard, how are you doing?
I'm alright, thanks for having me in my mobile office.
In your car in Leeds? Well, it is snowing outside, so I thought we'd better get in the car.
Yeah.
But as you've probably seen on the stuff for PSA Live, which is the 1st of April, no jokes, we know it's April Fool's Day, but Richard is a closing keynote speaker. The last time he spoke in the PSA, I think, was about 7 years ago, so I thought it's about time that he stepped up, and that's what I've asked him to do, and I've asked him to be the keynote. Now, you don't want to give away everything, Richard, but just tell people what they can expect from hearing you on that day.
Well, I mean, I am an inspirational speaker. You know that. You've heard my... In fact, you could tell my story better than I could because you've heard it that many times. But essentially, my story, if you haven't come across me before, is one... it's a typical triumph over adversity, motivational, inspirational talk. So if there's anybody in need of a bit of inspiration, you're going to get it in bucket loads or a can full of it. Sure, the name is Richard McCann.
Yes.
So you're going to get a can full of inspiration. You're also going to get... I mean, a lot's happened since 2009. I've probably done another 1,000 talks since, including speaking at the Global Speakers Summit back in Vancouver. You were there. Thank you for coming and supporting us, my friend. And
no problem.
Capturing those video testimonials, which I know the PSA have used in part of this marketing. So I've come on a long way since then.
Yeah.
I was speaking too quickly. It's my Achilles heel. My stagecraft, as Paul Dutoit. Do I ever pronounce that right? Paul Dutoit.
I think so, yeah.
From South Africa, described my keynote as world class. Now, I'll let
Wow.
He was the judge of that. I don't believe it's world class. What I do believe it is a million miles away from where it was when I first started speaking. When I didn't know what I know now, how it is to engage, connect, inspire, move people into action, and that's what you're going to get from me. And I'm so looking forward to sharing not just the tips, but the story itself, but also how you can build your speaker business. I am going to weave some of that in there as well.
Great. So, from my point of view, I've journeyed with Richard for probably about 8 years, haven't we? I think we first met at Starbucks.
You have been stalking me for a few years now, Lee.
I met at Starbucks just down the road, and when we first got to know each other. And I know that Richard is one of the best speakers in the UK and one of the busiest speakers, but he's also built a business around speaking and his message. So not only are you going to see great stagecraft, which is worth the price ticket alone, but also you're going to see actually the tips of building up his business too, and you're going to see how that works with him and his personality, and the fact that he's only little and a bit ginger, but that'll be all right, won't it?
I'm going to be doing some weights between now and then, Lee. Actually, I'm trying to build myself up.
We can do it. We can do it.
But I'll always be ginger. You're right. What we'll share, I'm not going to say what this specific thing is, but in the last few weeks, I have learned the thing that's brought most speaking inquiries to me.
Wow.
It's absolutely blew me away. I have had about 30 inquiries, including a booking on the back of this thing, which I'm going to share with the audience. I'm going to share this thing. Somebody booked me, like within a day, for a massive insurance company, based on this one thing that I did. And what this thing is, when I share it with people, hopefully they'll start doing this thing as well. And it's not what you think it is, but it's absolutely transformed how I see my business. And I'm 12 years in now. This thing, this one thing alone will be worth the ticket price to be there. So,
and I know what that thing is, and I'm not going to let you know what it is. And it's so simple, you'll hit yourself over the head when you hear it. But it's made a big difference, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just put a proposal in now for the Middle East. We've got India. We've got interest in Australia. I mean, it's blown me away. And the stupid thing is, I kind of knew about this thing right from the start of first going to the PSA, but I didn't get it. I kind of thought I got it. I now get it, and I'm so looking forward to sharing with the audience what that thing is, because it will transform your speaker business, your coaching business, and how you look at what you put out there.
Fantastic. So maybe there's some people here that have never been to a PSA event and never been to Live, which is in April, and Mega, the big one, which is in October. So what would you say that over the years when you've attended, what have you got out of being with 120 or 200 speakers in one room?
Well, I mean, I'll never forget my first PSA conference, which was at the Belfry on the 3rd, 4th and 5th of November 2006.
You remember the days?
I remember the day. I remember the moment. It was 3 o'clock on the Saturday afternoon. I remember the speaker. It was W. Mitchell. Clive Wilson, who was the regional president many years ago in Yorkshire, told me, you've got to get to the conference. And it was a few £100. This wasn't a one-day event. This was a two-day event, hotels. It was a few £100, but I trusted him, and I went along to my first conference, a little bit intimidated, but I was inspired by seeing this speaker on stage, and I thought, wow, that is what I want to do. And I came away with this added inspiration and belief that I was going to follow in his footsteps. And, 2,000 talks later, that advice from Clive Wilson all those years ago was gold dust. And I'm so glad that I acted on the advice because, well, the rest's history, Lee. So my advice is you've got to get there. If you're serious about specifically speaking, coaching and all that kind of stuff, you got to get there. You got to be in the zone, looking what's going on in the arena, bouncing ideas off people that maybe a bit further down the line than you, looking at what the new trends are, looking at the stagecraft, and also I think one of the most important things, and our relationships, an example of this, is forming those friendships with people which have lasted for years. We all work together, we support one another, we give each other advice, we can pick up the phone, and it's become my second family. The PSA become my second family. I went to the PSA meeting last night, and it was so nice to be back at my region, in the region again. And even me, 12 years into my career, picked up some things last night. Yeah,
that's right, because it works on different levels, doesn't it? So get there. The details, this will probably be a video, the details will be below this video, so where you can click and book onto live, and you can hear Richard, who's definitely worth the money. I've heard him probably 20 times, and I still like to listen to him and heckle him at appropriate moments. So thank you so much for agreeing to be part of it, and so please book on. You'll hear Richard, one of the busiest and successful speakers in the UK. Thank you. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks for having me, Lee. Cheers. See you there.